The Xyloth raiders had perfected their craft over 3 centuries. They swept through developing systems, cataloging species, extracting specimens for the Grand Consortium's exotic collections. The small blue planet in the Sol system seemed unremarkable. Primitive communications, fragmented nations, no unified planetary defense. Easy prey. Commander Veshkal watched the holding bay's transparent walls, observing the 23 small humans they'd collected from a rural settlement. The creatures were loud, emitting distress vocalizations that grated against his auditory sensors, but they were undeniably valuable. Young specimens always fetched premium prices at the consortium auctions. "Set course for the jump gate," Veshkal commanded. "We depart in 1 rotation." What the Xyloth couldn't know, what their intelligence networks had catastrophically failed to discover, was that humanity had one unwritten rule that transcended borders, beliefs, and blood: never harm our children. The distress beacon from the settlement reached the nearest human military installation within minutes. Within an hour, every major nation on Earth knew. Within 3 hours, the United Nations Security Council held an emergency session that lasted exactly 7 minutes. The vote was unanimous. Admiral Chen stood on the bridge of the UNSC Valkyrie, humanity's first true warship, still officially under construction in lunar orbit. Her crew of 200 represented 15 nations, all volunteers, all parents. "They have our children," she said simply. "Navigation, plot, intercept course. Engineering, I want full military power. Weapons, arm, everything." "Admiral," her XO hesitated. "We've never tested the plasma railguns in combat. The reactor modifications are experimental. This ship could nothing, Commander." Chen's voice could have frozen stars. "They took 23 children from a school field trip. We're bringing them home." The Valkyrie burned through space at velocities that made her hull scream. The engineering crew bypassed every safety protocol, feeding the reactor beyond redline specifications. They didn't care. Their species had touched nuclear fire, had stared into the abyss of their own extinction multiple times and stepped back. But this was different. The Xyloth ship was 3 light hours from the jump gate when their sensors detected the approaching vessel. Veshkal studied the readings with confusion. The ship was primitive, inefficient, leaking radiation like a wounded animal, yet it was moving impossibly fast, burning its own systems for speed. "Hail them," he ordered. "Warn them off." The response came in 37 languages simultaneously, but the meaning was universal. The translation matrix struggled with the emotion behind the words, finally settling on, "Return our children or become ash." Veshkal laughed, a chittering sound that rippled through his thorax. "1 ship? These primitives send 1 damaged ship?" He activated the weapon systems. The Xyloth raider carried enough firepower to glass a continent. Admiral Chen watched the targeting solutions materialize. The enemy ship was larger, better armed by conventional metrics. Her tactical officer was feeding her probability matrices, none favorable. "Admiral, they're powering weapons." "We should fire everything," Chen interrupted. The Valkyrie unleashed hell. Plasma railguns designed to throw slugs at relativistic speeds spoke first. The Xyloth shields flickered, held, then catastrophically failed as tungsten carbide penetrators struck at percentages of light speed. Nuclear-tipped missiles followed, not elegant, not sophisticated, just raw, furious force. But the Xyloth weren't helpless. Their return fire caught the Valkyrie amidships, tearing through the hull, venting atmosphere, killing 17 crew members instantly. Chen didn't flinch. "Ramming speed, Admiral." "I said ramming speed, Commander. Those children are going home today." The Valkyrie accelerated, her dying reactor screaming. The Xyloth crew watched in horror as the human ship, burning, breaking apart, continued its attack. Their shields were down, their weapons depleted. They had 1 chance: evade. They tried. The Valkyrie struck the Xyloth raider at 17 kilometers per second. The explosion lit up the void like a newborn star. But before impact, before the reactor breached, Chen had done one thing. She'd launched every escape pod toward the Xyloth holding bay, overriding safeties, using explosive decompression to literally blast them toward the enemy ship in the final seconds. 12 pods made it through the debris field. 12 pods carrying 23 terrified children and 32 crew members who'd volunteered for one last duty. Lieutenant Sarah Kim held the youngest child, a 6-year-old boy named Marcus, as their pod tumbled through space. Her suit was breached, her oxygen reading critical. She sealed Marcus into the emergency shelter, used her last breath to activate the distress beacon. "Tell them, we got you," she whispered. "Tell them humans don't leave our children behind." The rescue ships arrived 6 hours later. 3 nations had launched simultaneously, racing to be first. They found all 23 children alive, saved by crew members who'd given everything. The footage spread across Earth within hours. Not the battle, no one had survived to record it. But the aftermath, the pods, the bodies of crew members who'd shielded children with their own forms as life support failed. The message Lieutenant Kim had left. The Galactic Consortium received a transmission 3 days later. No threats, no demands. Just a simple statement from a united Earth: we are humanity. We have achieved faster than light travel. We have militarized our system. We are coming to the stars. And we have one law above all others: our children are sacred. Anyone who forgets this will learn why we are the only species to split the atom before achieving spaceflight. The only species to wage global war and pull back from the brink. The only species that views self-annihilation as preferable to submission. You took 23 of our children. We sacrificed 200 of our warriors to bring them home. Remember this ratio. Remember this fury. Remember that we are not prey. We are not specimens. We are humanity. And we protect our own. Commander Veshkal's species petitioned the consortium for immediate reparations to Earth. They paid for the construction of 12 new warships, established a permanent exclusion zone around Sol system, and added a new entry to the galactic database of dangerous species. Under humanity, in every known language, it read simply, "Never touch their children," the universe had learned. Earth mourned its 200 heroes, and 23 children grew up knowing that when darkness came, someone would always come for them. Because that's what humans do.